The hidden mysteries of the spiritual laws. There are forces in this universe that cannot be seen, only felt. Invisible patterns shaping your life, your choices, your desires long before you ever make a move. Some call them coincidences, others call them fate. But ancient teachings from every corner of the world speak of something far more powerful: the spiritual laws. Today we journey into the hidden mysteries behind these laws, what they are, why they work, and how they may already be weaving the story of your life. Welcome to the unseen architecture of reality. The law of energy. Everything, your thoughts, your emotions, even your intentions is made of energy. Not metaphorically, literally. Ancient mystics and modern quantum physics quietly agree on one point. Energy moves first, reality follows. This is the first spiritual law. Energy flows where attention goes. Think of it like ripples moving through the fabric of existence. Every thought you entertain is a thread being woven. And the universe responds not to what you wish for, but to what you consistently signal. So ask yourself, what are you broadcasting? The law of mirroring. Here's a mystery people overlook. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. This is the law of mirroring. Your outer world reflects your inner state like a spiritual echo. If you hold resentment, life will send you mirrors that provoke it. If you cultivate gratitude, the world begins rearranging itself to match your frequency. But the real secret? Mirrors show up in the form of people, difficult ones, inspiring ones, and sometimes those who seem to appear for no reason at all. Every person you meet is a coded message. A teacher disguised as coincidence. The law of detachment. Here is perhaps the most misunderstood spiritual law. You only receive what you are willing to release. When you cling, you suffocate possibility. Attachment demands certainty. But the universe moves through freedom. This is why manifestations often appear the moment you stop obsessing over them. Detachment is not giving up, it is giving space. The moment you surrender control, the energy can finally breathe and flow. The law of rhythm. Everything in existence moves in cycles. Seasons, emotions, opportunities, lessons. This is the law of rhythm. Nothing stays the same, and nothing remains stagnant. When life feels chaotic, you may simply be in the breaking wave right before the calm. When everything feels still, you may be in the gathering moment right before the rise. Understanding rhythm means understanding that nothing is random. You are always on your path even when it bends into darkness. The law of oneness. Here is the most profound mystery of all. There is no you, not in the separate, isolated way you've been taught. Every consciousness is connected threads of a single cosmic tapestry. The law of oneness states, what you do to another, you ultimately do to yourself. This is why compassion transforms reality. This is why intuition whispers to you. This is why you sometimes think of someone moments before they call. We are not separate beings. We are one mind, expressing itself in countless forms. The law of purpose. The final mystery is the law of purpose. Every soul enters this world with a mission, not always grand but always meaningful. Your gifts are not accidents. Your struggles are not punishments. Your instincts are not random thoughts. They are clues. Signs pointing toward the life you were meant to live. And when you align with that purpose, you activate the hidden current beneath all spiritual laws. That current pulls you forward, guides you, opens doors that logic cannot explain. Follow it. It knows the way home. The spiritual laws are not supernatural. They are simply unseen like the wind, the tide, or gravity. The moment you understand them, the world around you begins revealing its deeper order. And the mystery of your life starts to make perfect sense. If this journey awakened something within you, leave a like, share this video with a friend, and subscribe for more explorations into the unknown. Until next time, stay awake, stay aware. And remember, the universe is always listening. Have you ever felt like there's a hidden blueprint to the universe? A set of rules that governs not just the physical world, but our very lives, our successes, and our happiness? What if I told you that ancient wisdom and modern thought both point to the existence of powerful, unseen forces? These aren't magic tricks or wishful thinking. They are what many call the spiritual laws of the universe. Today, we're going on a journey to demystify these profound principles. We'll explore how they might be shaping your reality at this very moment. and more importantly, how you can consciously work with them to create a life filled with purpose, abundance, and joy. So get comfortable, open your mind, and let's unlock the secrets that have been hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the one you've probably heard of, the law of attraction. But it is so much more than just thinking positive thoughts and waiting for a sports car to appear in your driveway. At its core, the law of attraction is about energy. Everything in the universe, including your thoughts and feelings, vibrates at a specific frequency. Like attracts like. When you consistently hold thoughts of joy, gratitude, and abundance, you are broadcasting a powerful frequency out into the universe. And in return, the universe conspires to bring you experiences, people, and opportunities that match that vibration. It's not just wishful thinking. It's vibrational alignment. Think about it. Have you ever been in a really good mood and then everything just seems to go your way? That's the law of attraction in action. You're a magnet, and your emotional state determines what you pull towards you. But the law of attraction doesn't work in a vacuum. It's supported by another crucial principle, the law of vibration. This law states that nothing ever rests. Everything is in constant motion, vibrating at its own unique rate. Your thoughts, your emotions, the chair you're sitting on, the light from your screen, it's all just energy vibrating. When you feel fear or anxiety, you are literally vibrating at a lower frequency. When you feel love or excitement, you vibrate at a higher frequency. The key is to become aware of your own vibrational state. What thoughts are you thinking? How do they make you feel? By consciously choosing thoughts that elevate your mood, you are literally changing your vibrational frequency, making you a match for the higher frequency experiences you desire. It's like tuning a radio. You can listen to a station broadcasting at 101.1 FM if your dial is set to 92.5. You have to tune your own frequency to match the reality you want to receive. Now, let's talk about the powerhouse behind manifestation, the law of action. This is where so many people get stuck. They visualize, they affirm, but they forget that the universe responds to movement. You can't just sit on your couch and expect your dreams to knock on the door. The law of action requires you to take inspired steps towards your goals. Notice the word inspired. This isn't about hustling yourself into exhaustion. It's about listening to your intuition, that gut feeling, that little nudge that says, hey, maybe you should call that person. Or, why don't you sign up for that class? When you act on these intuitive hits, you're signaling to the universe that you're serious. You're co-creating with it. Each small step you take, guided by your inner wisdom, builds momentum and opens up new pathways that you couldn't have seen from your starting point. Action is the bridge between your inner world of thought and the outer world of results. But what happens when you do everything right and things still don't work out? This is where the law of compensation comes in. Often misunderstood as simple karma, this law is far more nuanced. It states that you will always be compensated for your efforts and contributions, but not always in the way you expect. The universe's accounting system is perfect. Every good deed, every positive thought, every effort you put forth is recorded. You will receive blessings in return, but they might come in a different form or at a different time than you anticipated. Maybe you worked incredibly hard on a project that failed, but through that failure, you met a key business partner for your next, far more successful venture. The universe always balances the scales. The key is to release your attachment to a specific outcome and trust that the rewards will come, often in ways that are more wonderful than you could have imagined. Sow seeds of kindness, effort, and value, and you will reap a harvest of abundance. This brings us to a beautiful and sometimes challenging principle, the law of forgiveness. Holding on to resentment, anger, or grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It lowers your vibration and blocks the flow of good into your life. Forgiveness isn't about condoning what the other person did. It's not about saying, it was okay. It's about releasing the energetic cord that ties you to that pain. It's an act of self-love. When you truly forgive, you free up an immense amount of energy that was being used to hold on to that negativity. That energy can then be redirected toward creating the life you want. Forgiveness creates a vacuum, and the universe loves to fill a vacuum with something new and better. Who in your life do you need to forgive? It might even be yourself. Take that step, release the burden, and watch how your world begins to shift. Next up is the law of cause and effect, also known as the law of sowing and reaping. Every single thought, word, and action you put out into the world is a cause that will inevitably create an effect. It's the ultimate principle of personal responsibility. You are the creator of your life, whether you realize it or not. If you consistently sow thoughts of lack and fear, you will reap a harvest of scarcity. If you sow seeds of generosity, love, and positivity, you will reap a reality filled with those same qualities. This isn't a punishment or a reward system. It's simply a neutral law like gravity. What you give, you get. If you want more love, be more loving. If you want more success, help others succeed. Look at your current life. It is the direct effect of your past causes. If you want a different future, you must start planting different seeds today. Now, let's consider the law of relativity. This law teaches us that everything in our experience is neutral until we compare it to something else. A problem only seems big because we are comparing it to a state of no problems. A challenge only feels insurmountable because we re-comparing our current ability to a perceived future state of mastery. This law invites us to reframe our perspective. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, is there to teach you a lesson and help you grow stronger. The so-called bad things that happen are not punishments. They are tests of character. They are opportunities to practice patience, resilience, and compassion. When you understand that every challenge is a growth opportunity in disguise, you can stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as a student in the grand school of life. The challenge itself doesn't change, but your relationship to it does, and that changes everything. Hand in hand with this is the law of polarity, which states that everything has an opposite. There can be no up without down, no light without dark, no hot without cold. The same is true for our experiences. You can't know joy without having felt sadness. You can't appreciate success without understanding failure. This law is incredibly empowering because it means that if you're experiencing something you don't want, its opposite also exists and is available to you. If you are in a state of lack, the potential for abundance is right there. If you're feeling despair, the potential for hope is equally present. Your job is not to eliminate the negative pole, but to focus your attention and energy on the positive one. You can consciously choose to shift your focus from what's going wrong to what you want to create, knowing that both possibilities are always available. And finally, we arrive at the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This is the ultimate law of hope. It states that energy is always moving and changing form. Higher vibrational energies will always consume and transform lower ones. This means that no matter how dark things seem, no matter how stuck you feel, you have the power to change your situation. By introducing a higher frequency through positive thoughts, gratitude, love, or inspired action, you can transmute the lower frequency energy of your problems. A single candle can light up a dark room. Similarly, a single positive, powerful thought can begin to dissolve a mountain of fear and doubt. You are an alchemist. You have the innate ability to take the lead of your challenges and transmute it into the gold of wisdom, strength, and success. Never believe that any situation is permanent. Change is the only constant, and you have the power to direct that change. So, as we've journeyed through these spiritual laws, from attraction to transmutation, you can see they're not separate, isolated rules. They are an interconnected, elegant system that governs the dance of energy that is our universe and our lives. They empower us by reminding us that we are not passive observers, but active co-creators of our reality. By understanding and applying these principles, you can move from a life of reaction to a life of conscious creation. Start small. Pick one law that resonates with you. Maybe it's the law of action, take one small inspired step today. Or maybe it's the law of forgiveness, write a letter you never send. The universe is always listening, always responding. It's time to start a new conversation. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration today. If this sparked something within you, please let me know in the comments which law you're most excited to work with. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the unseen forces that shape our world. Until next time, keep your vibration high. Have you ever felt like there's a hidden set of rules governing life? A cosmic code that, if you could just crack it, would unlock a world of abundance, joy, and purpose. You're not alone. For centuries, mystics, philosophers, and seekers have explored these very ideas, often referred to as the spiritual laws of the universe. Today, we're peeling back the veil to explore some of the most profound and mysterious of these laws. This isn't about rigid dogma. It's about understanding the subtle energies that shape our reality. Let's start with a big one, perhaps the most famous, the law of attraction. You've probably heard of it like attracts like, but its true mystery isn't just about wishful thinking. It's about becoming a vibrational match for what you desire. Think of yourself as a radio tower, constantly broadcasting a frequency based on your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. If your signal is one of lack, frustration, and doubt, you'll tune into experiences that reflect that. But if you can genuinely cultivate a feeling of joy, gratitude, and abundance right now before you even have the thing you want, you start broadcasting a powerful new signal. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, then begins to rearrange itself to match that frequency, bringing people, opportunities, and resources into your life that resonate with your new vibration. The real mystery here is the inner work, the alchemy of transforming your internal state to change your external world. Next, we journey into the law of karma, or the law of cause and effect. This is often misunderstood as a cosmic system of punishment and reward. But it's far more neutral and elegant than that. Every action, thought, and word you put out into the universe is a cause that creates a ripple, an effect that eventually returns to you. It's like a boomerang. What you throw out is what comes back. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Karma isn't just about your big actions, it's about the intention behind them. Two people can perform the exact same act, but if one does it from a place of love and the other from a place of fear or selfishness, the karmic boomerang that returns will be entirely different. This law invites us to become incredibly mindful of our inner motivations. It's a call to act with integrity, compassion, and awareness, knowing that the energy we contribute to the world is the very energy we are building our future with. It's not about fearing punishment. It's about consciously creating a life of positive returns. Now let's explore a more subtle but equally powerful principle, the law of detachment. This one can feel paradoxical, especially when we've just talked about focusing on our desires. The law of detachment teaches us that to truly manifest something, we must release our desperate need for it. It's the art of having a clear intention but surrendering the outcome to a higher wisdom. Think about planting a seed. You do your part. You till the soil, plant the seed, water it, and make sure it gets sunlight. But then, you have to let go. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the process of nature. Similarly, when you set a goal, you take inspired action, but then you release your attachment to how and when it will happen. This desperate, needy energy actually creates resistance and can block your manifestation. True power lies in the calm certainty that what is meant for you is already on its way, in its own perfect timing. This surrender isn't passive. It's an active trust in the universe's flow. Let's dive into the mysterious law of rhythm. This law states that everything in the universe has a natural cycle, a tide, an ebb, and a flow. Seasons change, day turns to night, economies have booms and busts, and our own energy and emotions have highs and lows. The mystery here lies in learning to work with these rhythms instead of fighting against them. When you in a period of high energy and inspiration, a personal springtime, that's the time to plant seeds, start new projects, and take massive action. But when you feel yourself entering a quieter, more introspective phase, a personal winter, it's not a sign of failure. It's a natural and necessary time for rest, reflection, and integration. Resisting this ebb only leads to burnout and frustration. Understanding the law of rhythm allows you to ride the waves of life with grace. You learn to trust that after every winter, spring will surely come, and after every ebb, the tide will flow back in, often stronger than before. It's about honoring the natural cycles within and around you. Another profound principle is the law of oneness, also known as the law of divine unity. This is the foundational law upon which all others are built. It states that everything and everyone is interconnected. We are not separate beings living isolated lives. We are individual expressions of one universal consciousness. We are waves in a single vast ocean. The sense of separation we feel is an illusion of our physical senses. When you truly start to grasp this, your entire perspective shifts. Harming another person or the planet is, in a very real sense, harming yourself. Conversely, when you help someone else, you are helping the whole, and therefore helping yourself. This law is the source of empathy and compassion. It reminds us that the energy we direct toward others reverberates through the entire web of existence. The mystery of this law is experiential. It's not just an idea to be understood. It's a truth to be felt in moments of deep connection with nature, with another person, or in quiet meditation. Now, consider the law of compensation. This is a beautiful expansion of the law of karma. It promises that you will always be compensated for your efforts and contributions, but often in unexpected ways. The universe always balances its books. If you give your time, energy, and love generously, and with an open heart, you will receive blessings in return. These blessings might not come from the exact person or place you gave to. You might help a friend move, and then a week later, a stranger gives you a much-needed piece of advice, or a surprise opportunity lands in your lap. The universe is the ultimate paymaster. This law encourages us to give for the pure joy of giving, without keeping score or expecting a direct, immediate payback. You can trust that your positive output is creating a credit in your cosmic bank account, and the universe will deliver your compensation in the most perfect way and at the most perfect time. It frees us to be more generous, kind, and helpful in all that we do. Let's touch upon the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This law sounds complex, but its essence is simple and incredibly empowering. It states that energy is always in motion and is constantly changing form. And here's the key: higher, faster vibrations will always consume and transform lower, slower vibrations. What does this mean for you? It means you have the power to change any situation in your life by introducing a higher frequency. If you're feeling fear, doubt, or sadness, which are lower frequency energies, you can consciously choose to introduce love, courage, or gratitude. By holding that higher thought, that higher feeling, you literally begin to transmute the lower energy. You have the alchemical power to turn lead into gold within your own consciousness. This isn't about ignoring or suppressing negative feelings. It's about acknowledging them and then lovingly, intentionally introducing a more powerful, positive energy to transform the situation from the inside out. Your mind is a transmutation station. Finally, we arrive at the law of relativity. This law teaches us that nothing is inherently good or bad, big or small, until we relate it to something else. Every person and situation we encounter is a mirror, a test designed to strengthen us. The challenges you face are not punishments. They are opportunities for growth tailored specifically for you. The bad thing that happened might be the very catalyst you needed to learn a crucial lesson, develop inner strength, or change your life's direction for the better. This law invites us to stop judging our experiences as good or bad and instead ask, what is this here to teach me? How can I grow from this? When you view life through the lens of relativity, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone. You realize that your greatest challenges often precede your greatest triumphs. It's a powerful shift in perspective that turns victims into victors and problems into possibilities. These spiritual laws are not just fascinating theories. They are practical tools for conscious creation. They form an invisible architecture that supports our entire existence. By beginning to understand and align with them, you stop swimming against the current of life and start flowing with it. You move from being a passive passenger to being the conscious architect of your own reality. The journey is one of awareness, practice, and a willingness to see the world not just with your eyes, but with your heart and soul. What we've discussed today is just the tip of the iceberg. Each of these laws holds infinite depth and wisdom. I encourage you to pick one that resonates with you and simply observe how it shows up in your life this week. Notice the cause and effect, watch the rhythms, practice detachment, and see the interconnectedness in everything. The universe is always speaking to us through these laws. The mystery is simply learning to listen. Thanks so much for joining me on this exploration. If this sparked something within you, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next journey into the mysteries of the universe. Have you ever stopped to think about the incredible power hidden in the words you speak every day? The Bible presents this as a profound mystery, starting right from the very beginning. In Genesis, God doesn't build or craft the universe with his hands. He speaks it into existence. Let there be light. And there was light. This isn't just a story. It's a foundational principle. It shows that words are not just sounds. They are creative forces. This theme continues throughout the scriptures. Proverbs tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Think about that for a moment. The words we use have the potential to build people up or tear them down, to bring hope or cause despair. They carry weight and have real-world consequences. So, the next time you speak, remember the mystery. Your words have power. Use them wisely. Thanks for watching. The mystery of the spoken word. Before the world was formed, before mountains were shaped, there was only one thing. A voice, a word, a sound that carried creation inside it. God spoke and reality obeyed. And that same divine power is hidden inside your words. The Bible says, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your words are not sounds, they are seeds. You can build or break, heal or wound, open doors or close them, with nothing more than your voice. If God could speak light out of darkness, what can you speak into your life today? The mystery of the spoken word. Unlock the power of divine speech. Speak and watch it become. The mysteries of spiritual laws they never told you. Since the beginning of time, humans have sensed invisible forces shaping our lives. Patterns that repeat, moments that feel planned. Coincidences too precise to ignore. Some call them fate. Some call them divine order. But across cultures, across continents, and across centuries, these forces have been known as the spiritual laws. Today, we journey into the shadows and light of these laws. The ones whispered about, hinted at, but rarely understood. The mysteries of spiritual laws. They never told you. The invisible blueprint. Before anything is born into the physical, it exists in the unseen. Scientists call it probability. Mystics call it energy. Ancients called it the blueprint. This is the first spiritual mystery. The law of mentalism. Everything begins as a thought. Every idea, every relationship, every action starts as a vibration in the mind. But here's the twist. Most thoughts aren't even ours. They're absorbed like radio signals from the collective consciousness. If you've ever felt a sudden idea appear in your mind as if whispered by something unseen, you've already experienced the blueprint in action. The echo of the universe. What if the universe is not silent? What if it responds instantly, intimately to everything we send out? This is the second mystery, the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your outer world is an echo of your inner world. Chaos inside, chaos outside. Peace inside, peace outside. But this doesn't mean you create every event, it means you shape your experience of those events. And here's the deeper secret. Your inner world whispers instructions to reality even when your lips say nothing. The hidden magnet. You've heard it called the law of attraction. But the mystery runs deeper. Attraction isn't about wanting. It's about matching. The universe doesn't give you what you desire. It gives you what you are. Fear attracts obstacles. Gratitude attracts opportunity. Confidence attracts alignment. The real magnet isn't your thoughts, it's the emotional signature behind them. Change your inner frequency and your entire life shifts in response. The paradox of opposites. Every light casts a shadow. Every truth hides a contradiction. Every force has a counterforce. This is the next mystery, the law of polarity. The universe is built on pairs. Up and down, love and fear, creation and destruction, life and death. But here's the strange part. Opposites are not enemies. They're two sides of the same truth holding each other together. Without darkness, light wouldn't be visible. Without pain, healing wouldn't feel miraculous. When you understand this law, your struggles stop looking like punishments and start looking like portals. The cycle that never ends. Everything in existence moves in cycles. Breath, seasons, emotions, destiny. This is the mystery of the law of rhythm. Everything rises and falls. When life dips, we assume something is wrong. But dips are not signs of failure, they're signs of motion. No winter lasts forever. Neither does any storm. If you learn to ride your rhythms instead of resisting them, life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a dance. The law few talk about. There's a final spiritual law rarely understood, often ignored, and yet it might be the most powerful of all. The law of responsibility. It states that you are the co-creator of your path, not a victim of destiny but a partner of it. This law doesn't blame you for what happens. It empowers you to transform what happens next. Your choices carve your timeline. Your actions ripple beyond your awareness. Your presence influences the world in ways you'll never fully see. The greatest mystery is not whether the universe has power, but whether you remember that you have power too. The invitation, the spiritual laws are not rules to obey, they are tools to awaken. They whisper through coincidences, through emotions, through intuition, through the quiet moments when your soul tries to get your attention. You don't have to master them. You only have to notice them. Because once you do, life stops happening to you and starts happening through you. If this journey sparked something within you, leave a comment below. Which spiritual law do you feel guiding your life right now? And remember, the universe is always speaking, you only need to listen. That's a powerful subject. Applying the law of forgiveness incorrectly is one of the most common reasons people remain emotionally and spiritually stuck. The harvest they block is their own peace, freedom, and blessing. Here are the most common mistakes people make when applying the law of forgiveness. 5 mistakes that block the harvest of forgiveness. Confusing forgiveness with reconciliation. This is the most common mistake. People delay forgiveness because they believe it requires them to immediately restore the relationship and trust the offender again. The mistake, believing forgiveness, aphesis, to release the debt, requires reconciliation, restoring a relationship based on mutual trust. The blocked harvest, personal safety and boundaries. True forgiveness is an internal transaction, releasing the debt owed to you, that frees you from bitterness. Reconciliation is an external process that requires repentance, trust, and change from the offender. You can forgive someone instantly, but you don't have to reconcile until safety and trust are re-established. Waiting for the offender to apologize. Many people wait for the offender to acknowledge the pain, show remorse, and ask for forgiveness perfectly before they will release the resentment. The mistake, making forgiveness conditional on the offender's actions, thereby giving the offender control over your emotional freedom. The blocked harvest, immediate peace and emotional healing. The biblical mandate for forgiveness, Matthew 6 verses 14-15, is unconditional and self-initiated. By waiting, you remain emotionally chained to the person who hurt you. Forgiving but refusing to release the debt. This is forgiving with an asterisk. The person says, I forgive you, but continues to hold a record of wrongs. 1 Corinthians 13 verses 5, and mentally tallies the offense, often bringing it up in future arguments. The mistake, confusing verbal declaration with spiritual release. If the debt is still recorded, the law of forgiveness has not been applied. The blocked harvest, authentic relationship and spiritual unity. The root of bitterness remains active in the heart, polluting all future interactions. Hebrews 12 verses 15. You cannot sow peace while still holding the seed of resentment. Forgiving without setting boundaries. People often feel that forgiveness means becoming a doormat and allowing the destructive behavior to continue without consequence. The mistake, confusing mercy, releasing the penalty of the past, with wisdom, protecting your future. Forgiveness deals with the past offense. A boundary deals with future behavior. The blocked harvest, self-respect and safety. The spiritual law is not designed to enable repeated abuse. A wise application of the law of forgiveness includes establishing clear, firm boundaries, supported by the law of liberty. Confusing forgiveness with forgetting. Many people believe they have truly forgiven only when they can no longer remember the painful details of the offense. The mistake, expecting God to magically remove a traumatic memory. The human mind retains facts and memories for protection and learning. The blocked harvest, wisdom and learning. True forgiveness means that when the memory of the event surfaces, it no longer carries the emotional charge of pain and anger. The memory is factually intact, but the spiritual and emotional power of the offense has been nullified. If you've made it this far, it means something within you is awakening. The patterns you've begun to notice. the questions rising inside you, the quiet feeling that there's more to this life than meets the eye. Those aren't accidents. You're tuning into the very laws that shape reality itself. And whether you realize it or not, you've just stepped onto a path that many sense, but few ever truly follow. Every insight you feel right now, every moment of clarity, every subtle shift in awareness, is the universe responding to your attention. So if you found meaning here, if something resonated deep in your spirit, take a moment to honor that connection. Stay curious. Stay open. Stay aligned with the part of you that knows when truth is near. And whenever you're ready to explore more of these hidden forces, you know exactly where to find us. We appreciate your energy, your presence, and the time you've shared in this space. Until our paths cross again, trust what speaks to you in silence. It's often the clearest voice of all. The moment you're in right now, this stillness, this quiet awareness settling over you is not coincidence. You didn't just watch a video, you passed through a doorway. A doorway into the hidden architecture of reality. The currents beneath the surface, the forces that move in silence yet shape everything we touch. As you breathe, feel it, the subtle pull of the unseen, the ancient rhythm echoing gently through your own spirit. You came here seeking answers, but something deeper has awakened. A recognition. A remembering. The laws we explored don't simply exist around you, they live within you. And now that you've sensed them, they will continue to speak in your intuition, in your dreams, in the places your mind drifts when the world grows quiet. If your heart stirred, if your spirit felt that unmistakable tremor of truth, then stay near. There is wisdom that reveals itself only to those who return again and again, with open eyes and a listening soul. Thank you for sharing your energy in this space. Until we meet once more, walk gently, listen deeply, and trust the whispers that rise from the depths of your own being. The mysteries follow those who are ready to perceive them. And now they follow you. As this moment comes to a close, let your awareness drift inward for just a breath. You've stepped into a realm where the unseen speaks, where ancient laws stir beneath everyday life, where the universe itself begins to respond to the clarity of your attention. If something within you shifted tonight, even subtly, it means you're in alignment with this path. And paths like these are not walked alone. So before you leave this space, pause. Feel the quiet pull inside you, the nudge of intuition, the soft whisper that says, stay connected. If this journey resonated with your spirit, honor that feeling. Subscribe not out of habit, but with intention. Because when you subscribe here, you're not just joining a channel, you're anchoring yourself into a field of awareness. A community of seekers who explore what most people never dare to question. Let your presence remain a part of this unfolding. Let your curiosity find a home here. And let the universe know that you are ready for deeper alignment. Thank you for sharing your energy in this sacred moment. Until we cross paths again, stay aware, stay open, and trust the guidance that rises from within.